Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. And we are wishing you here from the Peace and Harmony channel a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you. I wanted to bring forth some content that can speak to a lot of viewers' questions in terms of how do you find happiness, healthiness, healthy relationships, sort of that spark back to the real you after you have been victimized, traumatized, violated, had sort of your boundaries crossed or disrespected. And from sort of toxic, manipulative people, situations, relationships, maybe it's in your family, maybe it's your spouse, it could be your sibling, it could be a whole slew of people. But you're having kind of a hard time sort of letting go. The past keeps representing itself. You have, intrusive thoughts, memories of things that they have done or that they have not done, sort of past regrets that tend to plague and really sort of taint your present moment. And so that's a really important topic when we talk about giving you the gift of the present. And just before we get started on this topic, I just want to give a super huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. OMG, thank you so much for your support, your contributions, your interactions, your comments, sharing all of your, personal specifics so we can all sort of get a feel and relate to some of the things that you have been through. So thank you so much, and absolutely positively, if you would like to give a gift to the Peace and Harmony channel, please do feel free to donate and participate at the Peace and Harmony channel. We've figured out a way to put the link right here in the video, so thank you so much. Merry Christmas and happy, healthy, and healing holidays for you moving forward. So we're going to zoom in and focus in a little bit more in depth on sort of how do you begin to have healthy relationships? How do you find happiness despite all that you have been through? So this oftentimes is very important to understand the role of the subconscious mind and those, sort of feelings of depression, feelings of anxiety, feelings of loss, grief, the past sort of, coming up again and again. You can't really sort of move through or break apart into sort of bits and pieces and get things sorted out from these previous detrimental, harmful, and destructive relationships. It's very difficult to really sort of spare yourself, save yourself, and protect yourself when, either these people are currently in your life or you have memories of them or you're going to be seeing them in the future, so you still have things to contend with, and yet, you find it difficult to manage. It's to understand really the role of the subconscious mind and why this is happening. So if you have previous memories come up, and especially, that are painful, that are hurtful, they're destructive, things that people have said, situations that you found yourself in, having to bail somebody out of jail, living in constant fear, fear for what they're going to say, what they're going to do, what they're going to, talk about you, leave you alone, abandoned, and isolated, and feeling resourceless, feeling like you don't have the tools, and feeling, at a real emptiness and oftentimes a real sorrow or melancholy. And this can just continue to ripple on despite quote unquote traditions where you would like to participate, be happy, feel like you're at one with the world, you're at peace and harmony with situations. The subconscious mind will give you direction, opportunities, and it's really the source, the location of where either these negative, quote unquote, erroneous or false truths or beliefs which are embedded there. So it's to understand that you as a human being, not as a human doing, but you have a very discrete special place. It's in your heart, it's in your mind, it's in your aura. In the universe, the world responds to your subconscious commands and beliefs. And your reticular activating system will make sure to reinforce those. So in other words, if someone has deep in your subconscious mind done things that were very painful, caused you to be on the short end of the stick, put you in situations where you were frightened, where you did not have anybody healthy to connect to, nobody validated you, nobody gave you the love, nobody gave you the hugs, nobody said, OMG, tell me what just happened. You didn't have, a sounding board, a support system. So the pattern just repeats over and over and over again. That is how your subconscious and really the law of the universe and attraction really works. So your subconscious coupled with your reticular activating system finds ways to repeat the wrong people, the wrong messages, the negative, low energy vibration feelings, they keep that in play. So it's like a ball in play that never gets, knocked out of the park. It's always sort of in your mind. It's always sort of like floating around. And it takes up so much room that it doesn't allow you to have the healthy or to even know the healthy, to embrace the healthy, to be able to live and beyond survive, but to thrive in the healthy, to allow that change to take place. You must understand that the subconscious mind is a place of non-critical. It's when you're very open, receptive, impressionable, that this subconscious mind really does, direct your feelings, and it is absorbed. It's very important to understand that that is going to be the source of your healing and the source of your new positive beliefs, that get you kind of biting on the healthy, going for the healthy, letting it digest, savoring the sweetness of success. The subconscious mind, if you're having these ruminations and you're feeling that you don't really have the happiness, fulfillment, relationships, situations sort of, at your free will to sort of latch onto and then go for, we talk about the prefrontal cortex, and that's when you allow yourself to dream, have good judgment, allow yourself to be creative and just let it go and then live and really sort of take action there. It's to understand that the subconscious, when you are very open to these sorts of people, it's to understand that that is where the self-limiting beliefs and truths that are at the bedrock of driving your feeling, your emotions. So the subconscious mind is very non-critical. In other words, it's your conscious mind that's listening right now that makes judgment decisions, but you have a deeper part of you. Your hard drive. It's an organic, living, breathing aspect of you. And so the good news is to understand today that in that organic sort of, it might be extremely hardwired, you might be extremely rigid, or you might have repeated this through your physiology for years and years, and you've, you've created a situation for yourself to rehearse it and rememorize it and see, I told you, this wouldn't work out. You keep replaying these, and you keep, the universe then keeps, the subconscious mind is very receptive to validation in the conscious. So your conscious mind, if you're still living by self-limiting beliefs, harboring the truths that this manipulative person had put in, I am better than you. You are a loser. You will always live in pain. You are always going to live in fear. You're always going to live in trepidation. No one's going to love you for who you are. You cannot feel free, safe, and have love. These are sort of the hardwired programs which are living and running with you 24/7. How you breathe, how you sleep, the degree of comfort in your body, the decisions that you follow up on, the happiness you feel, the opportunities that you open up yourself to while still being protected. This is all sourced at your subconscious mind. And once again, the subconscious mind, it loves validation. In other words, it will always go for what it is that you tell it. It gives itself commands. It's just like this. Have you ever traveled and not been able to sort of go to the bathroom? This is sort of I want to get you to the level of the subconscious to show you, if you've traveled, you've been frightened, you've been clenched up, it affects your breathing, you're kind of holding in everything. You don't really sort of look around and appreciate. You're just always sort of fearful. You're trying to get somewhere. You're a human doing. You're on automatic pilot. You can't enjoy the sights. You can't enjoy the sounds. You can't enjoy the smells. You can't enjoy the people. And you can't get to that healthy place because you're so focused in on, getting somewhere. You're in that fight or flight. You're stressed out. Your body clenches up. You can't go to the bathroom even though you need to. You really can't eat, or you overeat, when you shouldn't, because you're in that stress emotional sort of physiology. So that is a good example of your subconscious. So you can kind of get a feel for it and how it is in your life. And so have you ever, noticed your breathing, and is it very labored or is it very relaxed? Can you really take a deep breath and then allow, yourself to gaze and take something in beautifully? That is what the recovery date is about. It's about getting into that subconscious and then allowing yourself to follow up on your positive dreams, inclinations, taking out that whole part of yourself and living in your healed shoes. Even if you can do it for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, you're giving your body a chance to experience what it is to enjoy your company alone. If you keep defining yourself as, in your alone or pensive or brooding moments that you don't enjoy your own company, you can't make it alone, you don't have the autonomy, you don't have the independence, you don't have the security, then that is your subconscious mind kind of at default bringing in all that negative. So it's going to then find reasons. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything this holiday season. Yeah, I'm not going to make any changes in the new year. No, I'm not going to get a new calendar with beautiful images and mark out my recovery dates. You begin to lose hope, lose faith. Your self-limiting beliefs are alive and flourishing, and you feel like you're only a survivor rather than a thriver. It is to understand that your subconscious mind is at your command, though. Have you ever taken a moment and then say, wow, I'm going to do what's required so I don't stress out. I'm going to be there on time so I don't rush. I'm going to take a moment and deliberately give myself the command to look at the beauty of the situation, see what true, genuine smiles are, and what it is to give this sort of feeling of safety and boundaries and self-protection and get that into play. So I'm actually, getting a feel for my boundaries. I'm practicing my affirmations, my astralmations, my I am. I am safe. I am magnificent. I am a thriver. I am a dreamer and my dreams come true. I live in the truth and I love my present. I love the present moment, and by doing that, I'm okay and responsible enough to let go of those negative messages, those negative experiences. I've replayed them enough. I know that I was without in those times. That was then, this is now, and I'm not going to bring that into my present because I'm responsible now. I can take ownership and acceptance of those opportunities, and I know that all this happened for a reason. This all happened for a bigger plan. The divine intelligence is alive and at work with my present, and I'm actually guided by a higher vibration and higher guides within me that are around me in my environment. If I pay attention to them, if I acknowledge them, if I validate them, if I give them gratitude, if I embrace the present and I'm willing enough in the subconscious to let go of those ruminations. In other words, you take the lessons learned. You understand and accept the impact. No matter how grave, no matter how serious, no matter how much time you feel was wasted, no matter how much time you feel that was lost, no matter how many beautiful days you could have had. My dream, your dream is alive. You have the present moment to liberate that. And so I liberate myself now, and I'm letting go of that from running my life and my subconscious. So if you give yourself commands to the subconscious, which is really what should be practiced in your recovery dates, you're then allowing the most powerful, profound, miraculous part of you to lift you up and direct your senses. You're able to resensitize to the unique. You're able to resensitize to the original you, the vast and powerful and empowered you. You're able to know with confidence that you've let go of those type of relationships, the feelings that they have plagued you with, and that you're no longer acting by those beliefs and truths that were embedded by the manipulative individual or individuals, and how it's caused sort of a tsunami to break you down, the emotional tsunami that sort of wipes out all the good, and all you see is devastation. All you see is, what do I have to rebuild? But it's okay to say, that was enough. Okay, lessons learned. You need to write them down and know that that past cannot rob you of your future. It's to know that the healthy feels like originally what begins with your happiness. So the peace, the happiness, the healthy needs to begin with you. So you need to go out and practice those on your recovery dates. In other words, take yourself out on your ideal. Know what your ideal is. No matter how crazy, out of preposterous it might be, what does my ideal life look like? If you don't bring that out of your subconscious into the conscious, then you will never draw it into your reality. You will never manifest. You're saying, nope, it's not going to happen to me, not now. I'm too damaged. I'm too flawed. I'm too ugly. I'm too tall. I'm too short. You need to get a feeling for your self-talk. These self-limiting beliefs, which are rooted in the subconscious mind, which need to be yanked out completely. You need to spend some time to be happy and fulfilled and have the healthy relationships. You need to yank out all those big, little, medium-sized seeds. Maybe they're gargantuan. Maybe they're like dinosaur egg size. The self-limiting beliefs that have basically flooded the rest of your neurophysiology and are like an emotional cancer, robbing you of the healthy new connections that you can make within yourself, the new synapses. You have trillions and trillions and trillions of brain cells, neurons, physiology, your central nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system, which is enacted by the subconscious, which is where those beliefs are like, they're all the way in there. It's time to roto-rooter those negative self-limiting beliefs, no matter who you reinforced, who you validated, the narcissistic supply, the psychopathic supply that you validated because those negative self-limiting beliefs were in place. Oftentimes, you keep those unhealthy people at shore, at bay for you, because you have self-limiting beliefs. And they fit in perfectly, like, yep, I'm going to bring my yacht right up to your harbor, and I'm going to latch my boat on, and I'm going to turn the little rope around. Yep, you got the ruminations, and it's like you're harboring anger. You're harboring resentment. You're harboring emptiness. You're harboring lack. You've got that all in your emotional ports. Isn't it time to unravel those and send those negative boats, those negative contents on their merry way? Why are you harboring them? Why are you keeping them in your vision, your perspective when you go to that lakefront, where the water meets the stability? Why are you keeping that in your mind's eye, in your scope? Why can't you take in and receive? Oftentimes because it's taken away too much of your emotional space. It's absorbed too much of your thoughts and your decisions, so it's like crowded out the happiness. It's time to make room. It's a time to allow yourself to have the room and the openness, but this has to be practiced on your own. That's what these videos are about, to give you the space, to give you what I call the emotional real estate, to go into those slower, receptive delta and theta waves where you can be at peace, at ease, allowing your body to exist on its own, allowing all the tension to flow out, all the fear to leave, all the negative ruminations to exit, so that there is nothing living and breathing with you except safety and peace and oneness and tranquility and serenity and positive focus. And reinforcing that feeling of peace, serenity, and goodness that comes when you practice this mindful existence, the physiology. You need to retrain and recoach your physiology to have that serenity all around you that starts with the subconscious. But you need to sort of clear your own slate that way. And once you're able to do that, then you can plant new seeds and thoughts of the true, the genuine, the authentic, the unique, the original, your strengths, your happiness. So it needs to begin and be rehearsed and practiced and rememorized and retaught to your own physiology. And you need to give this time, opportunity, and potential to yourself. You need to understand that this is the place of your future prosperity, contentment, love, joy, connection, growing, whether it's growing professionally, growing personally, whether it's growing spiritually, growing in your strengths, growing in your interests, sort of that budding out that's like trying to, move forward. And then oftentimes it needs to be watered with that gratitude of being alone and saying, you know what? Enough is enough of, putting myself in the corner. So your positive thoughts will begin in that place. And then the leverage begins when, you know what? I am better than this. I'm better than this depression. I'm better than this hatred. I'm better than trying to take care of everybody else all the time. I realize when this started in my life. This might have started when I was 10 and I got that first call that my brother was at the police station and being arrested. And then I had to live with violence in my house. That's all I've ever known. So that tree is just like alive and growing and putting in really tough roots, and it's just like in there really hard. It's to understand that those self-limiting beliefs, oftentimes rooted in fear, then create the hostility and the resentment and the anger and the isolation of the present. So it's important to understand that order of direction of thinking. Thoughts are things. Thoughts, which are then embedded in that area, which has non-critical. In other words, if you tell yourself to be miserable, you will be miserable. Pretty soon, if you repeat that, you will. But if you then give yourself the command in a deliberate manner, in a deliberate fashion, be at peace, I am safe. Be at peace, I am well. Be at peace, I am safe. Be at peace, I have boundaries. These are the sort of affirmations and reaffirmations that are needed to be enforced and created and embedded in the new subconscious level. And from there, it becomes more of a fertile ground for moving everything forward. And for there, you then begin to open up that prefrontal cortex and begin to look forward without fear, with the cessation of fear, which is where you bring the universal energy, the higher vibration of that into being. And you begin to be acknowledged, validated, and recognized in that higher vibration. But you have to give it a chance. You have to get that, it has to begin with your own self, within your own practice, and it needs to be practiced and exercised and affirmed and validated. So whether you're carrying videos along, whether you're carrying flashcards along, I am safe, I am at peace, I am protected, I operate with my boundaries. It's okay to say no, it's okay to say yes. I exercise my boundaries and standards. This is very important for you to do, because then you'll start to prime your subconscious for the positive. You'll begin to get images, and then from this state, from this peaceful state, then you prime your subconscious. So you need to be like, oh, Peace and Harmony is giving me an owner's manual today. I'm going to go and prime my subconscious with the positive, whether it's images. The subconscious mind loves and works by images. Images of people, places, things, events, situations, awards, money. Your affluence is all directed and commanded by this priming element. And then because it's from there that you set up your expectations. It's from there that the universe begins to respond in like energy and like vibration. So you get what you expect. If you're not getting anything, it's because your expectations. This needs to be practiced, and you need to enter into this safe state where then you get a sense of your own safety, and then you're able to acknowledge and validate what is not safe, what is not healthy, what is toxic, what is manipulation. And then your boundaries end up becoming so buoyant that they bounce off. They are deflected. It is an effortless sense of being when you practice that mindfulness and that peacefulness, and then go into that space and give that to yourself, the gift of this wonderful feeling every single day, whether it's opportune for you in the morning, whether it's in the afternoon, whether it's when you get home. Reinforce this, in fact, even several times a day, but ultimately reinforcing this on your recovery date, where then you take it out into the outside world and live in that and allow your healed self to really come and then follow up on your interests, those ideals that you've primed yourself with. Maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's a project, maybe it's learning a new language, maybe it's learning to build something on the computer, out back, moving, whatever it is. Then begin to move in the direction of this positive priming that you have deliberately given to yourself. You find that opportunities present themselves and you take yourself up on it. This is when it gets exciting. This is when you say, wow, I am really alive. I'm following up on what I find interesting. I'm interested in branding, marketing, arithmetic, accounting, painting, whatever it is. You know, you begin to then enact it and then draw the people, places, things, situations into your energy, into your aura, and then into your mindset. And then you begin to make decisions differently. You're able to say no. You're able to say yes. You begin to let it flow. That's what we call positive, orderly direction, thinking, feeling, and behaving. You then stay away from that negative. You then just let it go. It is no longer a temptation. You're no longer seduced. You're no longer manipulated. You're no longer hostile, angry, resentful. You're shedding those negative, lower vibration energies. This is really, really significantly important, and I hope you are able to replay this several times and understand that when you do that and you prime yourself and you deliberately take a scissors, a magazine, cut out the image, create a poster board, go to a dollar store, someplace where they have materials, get a poster board, get yourself a glue stick, get several magazines, and cut out images that are priming for you forward. This is a very powerful tool called a vision board. And you should have this. You should create this for yourself. I don't care how old you are. This is very, very significant, because then you're talking to the subconscious where all the change and the beauty and the miracles start emanating from. And then you're able to live and breathe in that space, and your life becomes more powerful, more productive, more resulting, more happy. You don't waste time in the negative. You dispel it. It bounces off of you buoyant like a bobber in water. You're bobbing then in the quantum field where that changing miraculous energy takes place. It's very important for you to give yourself those opportunities. And so especially in the holidays, when you finish up a year and then begin anew. Oftentimes, it's a very powerful time to begin this and really begin to apply, because you can track your progress. People oftentimes think, the new year is a new opportunity to, begin this. Well, then begin it and enforce it for yourself. That's when it starts getting good, and then you draw the healthy. And we'll give more examples of this in upcoming videos. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Merry Christmas to you all. Love you. Peace out.